Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be taking a tour of the garden for the month of June. I've been in Jamaica for the last 3 weeks and I came home for 3 days and then I'm leaving for a creator event in Oregon tomorrow. So I'll be gone out of the garden for almost an entire month. That being said, I think the garden is still looking beautiful. There are quite a few tasks that need to be done, and I'll discuss them as we walk through the garden. When I return, we will resume our normal schedule of Monday, Wednesday, Friday garden posting, and I'm looking forward to sharing with you all that I learned at this event in Oregon. It's my first time in Oregon, and I'm looking forward to it. The first bed we're going to talk about today is the memorial garden bed. This bed has a lot going on in it at the moment. Most of the roses are on pause, which is good because my nemesis, the Japanese beetles, are here and they are wreaking havoc in the garden. They especially love the roses, and what I have found works for me is at the beginning of June, I cut back the roses, not severely, but I cut back all the blooms, allow them to flush back out. And just about when they are ready to bloom again, the Japanese beetles leave. So that seems to work. So let's get started. I have quite a few tree lilies blooming at the moment in various shades of pink, purple, and white, and they seem to complement the rest of the garden. Most of the lilies that I have purchased from Longfield Garden or was gifted from Longfield Garden. And so if you're looking for some, that would be a good place for you to get them. Um, I have white diamonds, hydrangeas in here, which are doing really well. I also have some liatris or some blazing star that's blooming. It is a pollinator magnet. You can see right here what I mean by that. On the same one, we have bees, hoverflies, and a bunch of other things. And they are dotted throughout the garden to bring in the pollinators. I need to come in and cut back my penstemon, but I won't do that until they form seed heads because I want a few more to put around the garden, and I allow them to form seeds and then drop the seed heads. The daylilies are also all in bloom at the moment. And some more lilies. Aren't these stunning? This is a prairie sun rudbeckia. Prairie sunset. Also a pollinator magnet, and you'll notice I plant a lot for pollinators. The holes that you see in these are from the Japanese beetles. Look at this little moment right here. This is a blackberry lily, and they're called blackberry lilies because after they're done blooming, they make little seed pods that look like blackberries. One rose that doesn't seem to give up during all of the hoopla with the Japanese beetles is the sweet Mademoiselle rose. You know, she's one of my favorites in my yard, but as a result of that, yearly she gets demolished. Look at all those Japanese beetles right there. I'm going to come back out and get them later. Trying to decide which way to go. So let's do the front border after the memorial garden. We have these daylilies, which are rebloomers, and I love them. They're small, you see, but I love those blooms. There's still a lot of cleanup to do in the garden because I was on vacation in Jamaica for 3 weeks and it rained every day that I was gone. And as a result, I'm going to show you some of the ugly. I have weeds galore, and the edges of the beds need to be cleaned back up because the grass and the weeds um, have taken over because obviously we couldn't mow while it was raining. So, but I feel like it's only fair to show you the garden in all of its stages, which means that you get to see the garden even when it's not at its absolute best. One of the tasks that we have, I have a video that I'm working on doing on different garden chores, and one of them is we're going to prune this big hydrangea together because I want it to get a better shape. One other thing that's blooming its head off right now in the garden besides the hydrangeas are phlox, and I have phlox in different colors of pink, purple, and white. This is another white diamonds hydrangea. Over here, I have two twist and shout hydrangeas, and because they have this open center, pollinators love it. Just so pretty. And before I am asked what I do to get the purple and the blue in my garden, nothing. My soil is just acidic, and so that's what I end up with. I end up with blue and purple. Another thing I want to show you is this bleeding heart heliopsis. It is a false sunflower, and I love the colors on it. Here is a pop star hydrangea. Isn't that pretty? More of those blazing star, excuse me. My rose of Sharon. More white diamonds. Look at all the pollinators. So when you're choosing hydrangeas, try to remember your pollinators too, because they love these ones that have these types of flowers. More phlox. Also a pollinator magnet. One of the things that I have to do is cut back these foxgloves, and what I've been doing is just dropping the seeds on the open soil around them so that I can have more of it later. I have some echinacea blooming. This is some Dara. And then more lilies, daylilies, hydrangeas. This is a bloomstruck hydrangea. And there's a pop star in here, but the Dara collapsed on it, so I'm going to prune it back so that you can see the hydrangea. Veronicas have gone over. I need to cut those back as well. There's a lot of work to be done in the garden. For example, the Nepeta needs to be pruned back. The Stokes aster needs to be deadheaded. But a little at a time, because I leave on another trip tomorrow. I don't think this is the best planning that I did. So when I return from that, I'll be home for a long while before I go anywhere else. And so I'll have the opportunity to get the garden put back together. Hubby helped some by keeping the lawn mowed, but like I said, I need to do the fine tuning, edge cleaning, cutting back of things that have spent blooms, and it's going to happen. This is a Chase Vitex tree, or a Vitex tree. It's also called a Chase tree. I have two of them in the yard, one on this side, one on the other side. And the reason I have them is pollinators love them. They're also a native tree, and I love their spiky blooms. They make a great cut flower. More of the white diamond hydrangea. This jubilation gardenia is in between blooms, and this is what it does. It sheds its own blooms It just need to give it time, and then it'll bloom out again. Another tree lily and some more daylilies. We have some gladiolas and balloon flower blooming. Isn't this beautiful? Some more of the bleeding star heliopsis. Butterflies seem to love this. More phlox. There's some green bloom struck hydrangea over there. More pop star hydrangea. Looks like we're going to be having some hibiscus blooms soon. I cleaned out the fountains. I need to clean out the bird bath, but that'll happen when I get back. More phlox and butterfly bushes. And then this side of the long border is one of my favorite areas. It's looking so, so lovely. Overgrown and needing to be tended to, but just lovely. Love the phlox. This is Invincible Spirit 2 hydrangea. The blooms start out this pretty pink color and then fade to this color and eventually this color. All three colors are good for bouquets, and as you can see, plenty of pollinators. Look at these bees sleeping on the phlox. We have another tree lily over here, and altogether it works. The chartreuse in the back is a good backdrop for the purple. We're going to spin around and we're going to go and look at the bed that wraps the house. I had to cut back these roses because they were severely covered in rust, black spot like that. And now it's coming back after I've cut it back. Look at the dragonfly. Can you see him? Nope, he's gone. This is a lovely daylily. And a bee on the beautyberry bush. These are native beautyberry bushes. These are white wedding hydrangeas by Southern Living Plants. And some old antique yellow rose that needs to be cut back. This whole entire area needs some love. I need to prune the boxwoods and the hollies and the topiaries. And the reason they're not done is I attempted to do it before I left for Jamaica. And y'all, I got caught in a thunderstorm. I think there's a video coming up showing me doing that and running from the rain. But you can see this one's a little tighter than this one. But at the top, I had to stop because the rain came and the lightning and the thunder, and it felt like it was right next door. So I'll get those done when I return from Oregon. I spent some time cleaning up this bed yesterday, and it's looking really good today. More lilies. This is a quick fire hydrangea. And again, pollinator magnet. They just love it. Roses are on a pause, but the hydrangeas are doing. This is a flowerful hydrangea. Another quick fire. I also spent some time yesterday cleaning up this flower bed. It needs some more work. I need to cut back the yarrow, but it's the wrong time to do it, so it's just going to have to stay like this. But I cut back the columbine because they were looking unruly, collected some seeds, and I have that to share with some gardening friends. I'm also teaching a seed saving class with our master gardeners, and we're going to teach them how to recognize and save seeds from some plants. This is a Martagon lily that's just about done blooming. Of course, gladiolas. And this is a pugster blue butterfly bush, followed by a bloom-struck hydrangea that has bloomed and is putting up other bloom stalk. You see it back there, and you can see the blue peeking through. Blazing star. Here is a blue balloon flower. I have all three colors, pink, blue, and white, and I just love them so. More phlox. This is called grape lollipop. Here's another little bee hanging out here. More. This is Bring Me the Sunshine rose, suffering from some black spot and some Japanese beetle damage. I love this combination with this 9-bark, this butterfly bush, and these lilies. This is an Edgeworthia. Hi, Lily. I spent some time yesterday. Lola, good morning. I spent some time yesterday cleaning up the edges of this flower bed and cutting back some things, cleaning up what needed to be cleaned up. This is cotton candy phlox and some reblooming daylilies. This is a dahlia that I got from Walmart that I love the color, almost like a little sea urchin. More of the same over here. Excuse me, this is bubblegum pink, not cotton candy pink, bubblegum pink phlox. This is one of my favorite daylilies that I have, and I will insert a picture so you see how lovely it is in bloom. Have to trellis this Peggy Martin rose. I want to bring it across here so that it grows across the front and across the side. This is a double tiger lily. We've done a couple of videos on this bed here, and it's really come into its own and has more color than in previous times. Still need to add a couple of things for more color, but we're doing well. Here's another pop star hydrangea, another bubblegum pink phlox. It's another daylily. It's a rebloomer as well. And then this one is called a fudge lily. This was a gift from my hubby. pop star. And then what we have not seen so far is this little hottie hydrangea is starting to bloom. We're going to take a quick look at the dahlias, which I need to weed. I need to mow in between the rows, and then I need to figure out what's going on. This is dying, that's dying, and I don't know why. So these I grew from seed. So I have this one, which is multi-petaled, this one, which is an open petal, and it has white on the back stripes. I love both of these. I then have an all white open. Here's a peach colored open centered one that I also grew from seed. So my dahlias are a combination of ones I grew from seed as well as ones that were gifted. These were all gifted to me. I got to come back and mow here. These will be used as part of my daughter's wedding. My little dahlia, not dahlia, zinnia patch. And then I'm going to show you some more dahlias I've grown from seed, as well as ones that I was gifted. Look at, and that's stunning. This was grown from seed as well. I love, 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 love the color variations on this one. And then there is this one. Look at the back of this one. So, so pretty. All from seed. This is from seed as well. And I love the back. It's just as pretty to me as the front. Here's another one that I grew from seed. Isn't that pretty? Here it is fully opened. I just think it's stunning. And here's some more variations of it down here. Need to come and make a bouquet. Isn't this beautiful? Here's another one, also grown from seed. Just love them. The next ones were sent to me from Broad River Farms here in Georgia. So they're stunning. Look at these. So, so big. Some that haven't bloomed yet. I have decided that the dahlias with the pom-poms are my actual favorite. Look at these. Isn't that pretty? So, so many. Some stuff I need to plant out in the greenhouse, but I haven't gotten to them yet. I won't until I come back. I also have 3 beds of dahlias in the veggie garden. We'll look at it another time. But they are beautiful, and they're all blooming and doing well. I have a lot of citrus also. And grapes, I think I'm going to do a video of the veggie garden once I have it mowed and cleaned up. Look at my grapes. They're starting to change colors. Look at. I need to bag them up before the birds and the squirrels get to them. And by bag them, I mean put them on, um, what you call it, those nylon bags to protect them from insects and so forth. This is the cotton candy phlox, and this is some butterfly weed in front, and it is a pollinator magnet, and it is a native type of butterfly weed. Superstar spirea, and in front we have an arborvitae, fire chief arborvitae. Look at those nice two pieces of poison ivy, just shining stars. I'm gonna have to pull them out. But yeah, look at these tiger lilies. I'm not a fan. This is the first year they're doing this, and I don't like it. So I'm not sure what the solution will be, but I don't like that half dead look. I don't know if it's all the rain we've had or what. This is another quick fire hydrangea. You see there's a crinum lily. You can see where the Japanese beetles have been busy while I've been gone. They skeletonize the leaves of plants, and they particularly love this rose and these karaya, Japanese karaya. I am not a fan. That's why I've removed most of the karaya over the years because, yeah. This is an Echinacea purpurea, the only ones that seem to do well in my yard. And the Japanese beetles love it too. I am loving this moment right here. And to think that this side of the garden was empty last year. If you want, you can go back and look at some tours and you can see there was nothing here. But now it is nice and lush and pretty. And this is the first year, so I could just imagine what next year is going to look like. More cotton candy phlox and all my daylilies. This Pinktopia rose is reblooming again. And flowerful hydrangea. I need to cut back the spent blooms so that it can put out some more. Diamond Rouge hydrangea. And then you have the flowerful hydrangeas. More oak leaf and flowerful hydrangeas. Some grape lollipop phlox and an eclipse hydrangea. Amber Jubilee 9-bark. And then my hedge of eclipse hydrangea is looking so lovely. I love the color they age to, and they're still putting out new blooms, so you have a variety of shades on there. Flowerful hydrangea, twist and shout hydrangea, more tree lily, excuse me. And then my other panicle hydrangeas are beginning to come together. This is Ruby, Joe Pye weed. It's a smaller Joe Pye weed. More trumpet lilies. More phlox. And I need to come back and prune off the bloom stalks of the rose campion and clean up some of the daylilies that are done blooming through there to get this bed together. But in time, gladiolus, more phlox, twist and shout hydrangea, flowerful. It's just looking lovely. Back here, we have more hydrangeas. And these are grocery store hydrangeas. One of them was a Mother's Day present from my girls. And I planted it so that I would have it. And then I went to the store one day and they had the hydrangeas looking like this. So I bought them in the grocery store and planted them out. And they have rewarded me with just varying shades of blooms. And like I said, I've not done anything to get them like this. It's just how the soil is. These are some more flowerful hydrangeas. More eclipse, flowerful. More of these hydrangeas. They all start out like the white with the purple and fade to either this mauve or this blue color. So they start out like this right here, and then they fade to some antique blue or so forth. The last bed we're going to talk about is this one, which one of the two that I refer to as the shed beds. And as you can see, the hydrangeas are coming into their own. They're not bloomed yet, but the panicles are forming. We have some grape lollipop phlox, some liatris, some Casablanca lilies, some Gara, and some daylilies blooming. All needs to be cleaned up, edges set, and I'm going to be removing these roses. I don't like them. Every year they do this thing where they lose their leaves, and I can't stand it. Well, this bed here is also one that needs a bit of cleaning up. This is a cafe au lait dahlia, and I need to finish tying it up, cutting back some things. But these are limelight hydrangea. My husband loves them, so I planted 3 next to the house, so when he's laying in bed he'll see them. He also gets to see this, and then there's a whole hedge of limelight there. Thank you so much for joining me today as we took a tour of the garden for the last week of June. As you can see, it is quite lovely. All the lilies are blooming and just all the different colors are just a sight to behold. I love my garden between the months of April and probably early July. Then the heat comes in and it's not as enjoyable. It's still pretty, just not as enjoyable for me. In any event, if you've enjoyed this content or any content on my channel, please consider subscribing. As always, happy gardening.